Back, we'll start today with fertilization and meiosis and sexual life cycles. And what's life cycle is? When you grow, it's called birth. Then growth occurs. After growth, person or organism reproduce, which means reproduction. Then what happened next? Producing of new offspring, which means the baby form. Like that's the general, like I've talked earlier in the previous lecture also. But in like sexual reproduction organism like humans, life cycle depends on the two key processes. The first is meiosis, other one is fertilization. Yeah, I've told you earlier also. Wait, what does meiosis do? It makes the sex cells, which were are sperm and egg. What does fertilization do? It joins sperm and egg cells to form a baby, new baby. So right, that's a general recap. Okay, now let's start another thing which we'll study today is chromosome sets in human cells. First one is somatic cells. Okay, somatic cells, or we can say it body cells also, general body cells such as skin, muscle, blood type. These are known as somatic cells. Now listen carefully now. Like each somatic cell, okay, it has 46 chromosomes. Each somatic cell, each somatic cell. Okay. Now you know when chromosomes are seen clearly, it is seen in the mitosis phase, which means the I can say more clearly in metaphasic plate. Like during the metaphase, it is clearing because like during that time, chromosomes are thick and are visible under the microscope. Okay, like that's why the scientists identify the chromosome by like the size, the centromere position, and there's new thing called staining and bending process, or we can say patterns. Staining and bending patterns. Like when the scientists arrange these chromosomes in a specific pattern, or we can say pairs. 46 chromosomes were arranged in pair. Okay, pair, which are like matching to each other. They are matched. This thing is called as karyotype. Now like these pairs further are called as homologous chromosome, which means that they look same, they have same gene position. One comes from the mother, another one comes from the father. For example, if a one chromosome has a gene for eye color, okay, the matching chromosome also has a gene for eye color gene at the same place. This means that like this is a chromosome, okay, at this point this has eye color gene, okay, and the same pair at the same point they have eye color gene also. So that's why they are called karyotypes and the homologous chromosomes. Okay, now diverting to the sex chromosomes. Sex chromosomes, you know like most chromosome like have match pair, but chromosome X and chromosome Y, they are special. Why? Because like in females usually have XX chromosome, in the males it is XY. These X and Y are called sex chromosome because they determine the sex. The other 244 chromosomes are known as autosomes. you know like they are only partly similar. X and Y chromosomes are like partly similar. Like X is a little bit larger, Y little bit smaller, and like had different genes. X is like I'm writing is X is a little bit larger. Okay, Y is much smaller. Okay, and has some different genes. Different genes. Okay, they are like partly similar. They are not that identical, but like they're partly similar. The question arises like where does this chromosome come from? Okay, like in each person, 23 of them come from the mother side, or we can say mother, sorry. 23 come from the father. Both contribute together, 46 in total. This means, like our body cell have two sets of chromosomes. Two sets of chromosomes. Okay, one is from mother set, another one is from father set. That means this thing is called as diploid, which means 2n. See, n chromosomes from here and from the father side. So n plus n, 2n. That's it. In humans, we write as like 2n is equal to 46. For each pair, n is equal to 3, 23. Now let's go on a new thing. We can say what happens after like the DNA is copied. The DNA copied itself. Okay, like each chromosome become like it has like two identical sister chromatids. This is chromosome. This sister chromatid are identical in nature. Okay, they join at a point called at centromere. You know that I told you earlier. Even though like when the chromosome is being duplicated, okay, it is still counted as diploid because we are counting the sets of genetic information, like not the number of chromatids. So yeah, moving on to new thing. Know about gametes. What are gametes? Sperm and egg cells. It's basic. I think everybody knows this. Sex cells are known as gametes. Usually, this topic is mainly boring. Yeah. In body cells, gamete have only, like one set of chromosomes. Body cells have many cells of chromosomes, two sets of chromosomes. In gametes, it is one set of chromosome, which means n number of chromosomes, which means n. Okay, 2n n. That's why they are called as haploid, which means n. Diploid was 2n is equal to 23. It is called n is equal to 23. Diploid was 2n is equal to 46. Diploid, haploid, n is equal to 23. Yeah. So, for example, in the egg cell, let's talk about the egg cell in females. It contains 22 autosomes, which means 22 body cells or other cells which don't perform in the like sexual reproduction part, and plus egg cell. Okay, and the sperm cell in males. Okay, it also contains 22 autosomes plus X or Y. Like it determine the gender, like X for male and Y for X for female, Y for male. Like in different number of animals. Like for example, let's talk about the fruit fly. You can say Drosophila. Let me write the correct spelling. Drosophila. Okay. In diploid, 2 1 is equal to 8, which means, and haploid it is n equal to 4. Dog, diploid 2 1 is equal to 78. Haploid again 39. Just an important fact here, like more chromosomes is like not equal to, we can say, more organism complex. More complex organism. Why? Because Like the chromosome number depends on the evolutionary history. I'll talk it about in the evolution chapter, not on the intelligence or the body complexity, not intelligence or body complexity or body complexity. Now, how this fits into human life cycle? Adults, 2 1 is equal to 46. They make gametes by meiosis. Gametes by meiosis. Okay, gametes and they go 23. Sperm plus egg, which leads to what? 1, 2, 3. Fertilization further. Okay, where sperm plus egg join. Then the new cell is formed with 46 chromosome. Okay, in each cell it is 46 chromosome with 2n. Then the zygote form. The zygote further develops and it forms a baby. The cycle is what? The cycle is diploid adult, 2n adult, 2n. Meiosis happen. Haploid gametes. uh, Then fertilization happens. Then what? Diploid zygote again. Then it furthermore is developed into baby, baby to adult. Again, a cycle continues again and again, again, again. So what usually happen? Now suppose, okay, this person is male, okay, this is female. What are these? These are multicellular, in scientific terms, diploid adults, okay, which means 2 1 is equal to 46. Okay, now what does happen is, from the male testis region and the female ovary, they do something what they produces called gametes, okay, which leads to meiosis. By meiosis they produces gametes which are half in number, which means like it is 2 and the gametes are half. Like the male produces single gamete, the female produces single gamete also. Okay, the female produces what, call it as egg. Okay, it is haploid in nature because it has only one set. Okay, and the male produces what, it produces sperm. It is also single gamete. Okay, it is, they are haploid in nature, which means n is equal to 23. It is single cell. Now what happened is, these sperm plus egg, like they get like fused together to form a new thing called, it is done by a process of fertilization, diploid zygote. The sperm and egg like completely fused together, they form something called diploid zygote. Now what happened is, okay, it is diploid, so which means is 2 1 is equal to 46 again. It has two sets, one from the mother, one from the father. Now again what happened is, mitosis will occur. Okay, then development occur here also. Then the each of the diploid zygote, like it first, like it transformed into the baby, then baby to one single adult. Okay, then other adults marry each other. Okay, then fertilize each, the process continues again and again and again. So like what happened is, like like the meiosis cuts the chromosome number. like earlier it was 46 in half, which means like 46 is it divided by 2, like it's cut into the 2 in half, like it becomes 23. And after that, like what does fertilization do? It restores it. And then fertilization restores it, and resulting formation of the zygote and the life cycle, zygote to mitosis, and later on developing into one single adult. And then the life cycle continues again from adults to the gametes, gametes to the zygote, zygote to the adults again. The cycle continues.